It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Jamie is a leading Tampa Bay real estate agent and featured on the Wall Street Journal's list of top 100 real estate agents in the nation. Jamie invites you to list your home with him today and learn more at tampabayradio.com. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Maloney.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and thanks for tuning in to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. If you're finding me on the air for the first time, we're here Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 on 1250 WHNZ. And also you can find the live stream available over on tampabayradio.com. Josh Voss to hold it down over there with the live video stream each and every morning. Also one of my great producers and part-time, or I would say full-time now, co-host over there, to adding the color commentary. But you know what? You've been messing up the last few shows. We haven't got our celebrity lookalikes on our guests. So you've been forgetting about that?
No, I haven't forgot about it. I just left it alone for a little while, you know.
Well,
if something's good and people like it, you got to kind of like pull back a little bit so they want more of it. You know, I don't want the effect to wear off. You know?
We got a couple of guests in studio today, so we got the first here, Dr. Panos Vasaludes, and we're just going to call him Dr. V going forward here.
Yeah.
So, well, I know Josh is hard at work, or they're finding his doppelganger, but in the meantime, we'll go ahead and bring him on. He is a doctor in dermatology. So, Dr. V, welcome to the program today.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that.
So tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're telling me you were in, you got a PhD, a medical degree, a number of different degrees here. You said you were in school to age 39?
Yes, actually, I just turned 56 last weekend, and I was born and raised in Cyprus. Then I went on to Germany, where I studied medicine, and then I make my way to America. I'm board certified in dermatology and pediatrics, and I did a PhD in cell biology.
So tell me, 20 years in school, it sounds like you became a career academic there. What was it like transitioning out of academia into, the world of entrepreneurism?
You know, that's most PhDs, isn't it?
Well, 39, though. You're usually done by at least 29, I would think.
Well, it was a combination of research and clinical studies and residency. It was a fun time. I went around, I traveled a lot, and the transition to life was really at the right time. And having 4 children, I was just ready to get out and roll my sleeves and get to work.
Now, was all your education overseas? Did you do this some studies
More
in
or
America?
less half and half. Okay. I just studied in Marburg, in Freiburg, in New York, in Philadelphia, and Denver.
Okay. Did you have to do any redo any training in the States that you did overseas? Because I know one of my good friends, a dentist, he did his dental training in England, and then he came to the States, had to do it all over again.
Well, I did part of that, yeah. My pediatric residency, I did twice.
Okay.
I did in Germany and America, and the exams I had to take twice.
Okay. And
that's what makes me good, though.
Yeah, and it looks like, it sounds like you're passing with flying colors, and you've been practicing, I take it you've been practicing medicine since 39. Did you step out into your own business, or what did you do after you got out of academia?
I just developed both parallel. I was going hand in hand, and I said, when you study so long, then you got to work for yourself. So I took over a practice in 99 here in Tampa, and I've been running that practice now for 17 years. Okay.
So let's tell me a little about your business. Specialize in dermatology. Do you do other areas of medicine, or is it just mostly dermatology?
I do mostly dermatology.
Okay.
I do all ages. I start from a newborn baby born a few hours all the way to 101 years of age is my oldest patient. And I specialize mostly in pediatric dermatology, then melanoma prevention and treatment, and hair loss.
Okay. And melanoma obviously is a concern being in Florida. We got the sun here and everything. So let's talk a little bit about that. First off, just what are some of the basic warning signs? I know I've been to the doctor a few times and they've told me to keep an eye on the mole or something. What are we looking for with melanoma?
I love the question. I can talk for hours. Traditionally, we've been taught look for the ABCD signs: asymmetry, border irregularity, color variation, and size, diameter. But over the last 17 years, I developed my own criteria.
Okay, tell us how
and
yours.
I call it, my own criteria revolve around history. That's what I think is the most important parameter to assess the risk of melanoma. And I say family history, then personal history, and genetics.
Okay.
And genetics is so important to understand that.
Okay, so the sun, tell us how big of a risk we are here in Florida versus other states. Is it just that, we're just in the hot environment and the sun's out all the time here? Are we at any greater risk here in Florida than other states for melanoma, for instance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will put the E ahead of my FGH For family history, genetics, and history, I put E, which is environment. And the influence of the sun is evidence when we compare studies, for example, from Norway versus studies in Australia, and studies from northern part of Europe versus Florida. The rate is increasing 3 to 4 times in our area, and is when we compare and we look at data from Australia, we expect maybe like 60 people in 100,000 people to develop melanoma.
How beneficial is it having a tan when people go out to the beach? A lot of people are less likely to use sunscreen when they have a tan. They think they're protected from the rays of the sun, the ultraviolet rays, and all that. I mean, when somebody has a nice suntan, to what degree are they protected from the radiation from the sun at that point?
It's a fallacy to think that the tan is going to protect you from a melanoma, and it's wrong to believe that.
So even as you get a nice tan and stuff, you're not getting yourself any more protected from melanoma than at that point.
No, it may help you a little bit to avoid an acute sunburn, but will not protect you from developing melanoma.
So what SPF do you recommend that users use out there in the environment there on the beaches and everything?
I'll say SPF 45 to 70, UVA and UVB, and wide spectrum.
So what makes melanoma so aggressive, and how quickly do you got to catch melanoma to make it to get it treated effectively? I guess you'd say.
You have to catch melanoma very early before it becomes invasive. We call that melanoma in situ, and the early diagnosis means 100% cure rate. The moment we catch it, when it's a small, tiny freckle, a little tiny mole, quote unquote, a beauty mark, a birthmark, we need to catch it before it becomes invasive. The moment it becomes invasive, then it can spread through the lymphatic channels, the blood vessels, to the lymph nodes, to the lungs, to the brain, and that's a big problem.
And how do you treat basic melanomas? You just go in there and remove it surgically?
Yeah, there is a small tiny razor blade that is called Persona. Mm-hmm. I cut it into half, and then I can shave off every suspicious mole. And if I do it at the right time, then that's curative. That's it. Then you do a small excision afterwards, and that's it.
What is the prevalence then of melanoma here in Florida? How many patients do you see on an annual basis that are, that have melanoma that you see?
I have good data in the sense that we have seen about, over the last 17 years in my practice, we have seen about 2,500 to 3,000 cases.
And is it on the rise?
It's on the rise, and it's doubling rate every 10 years, especially in Florida and in Australia.
What about the use of tanning beds? I know when I was younger, I used to like tanning beds. I found them relaxing. I haven't been in a tanning bed in over probably 10 years or now or so. But for the person who goes to the beach, I always thought that was the point I was kind of getting to earlier. I thought if I go in there, I get a natural tan naturally, then I'm protecting myself from the rays of the sun. But you're saying that's a fallacy. That you're saying that was not correct.
Yes, that's actually a big problem. And we see that association with increased usage of tanning beds. The rate of melanoma is increasing. The American Academy of Dermatology is making a big statement, a big push against tanning beds. And we want to reduce the influence, the usage by teenagers and younger people, because really we pay a big price down the line. So
the biggest risk factors then, does it start with genetics and family history, or is the biggest risk factor just our own behaviors then and getting out into the sun?
Genetics and the wrong behavior is exponentially increasing the risk. That's a combination of the two. If you have the bad genes, you cannot change bad genes. But on top of that, coming the behavior, sun exposure, other risk factors that they contribute to that. For example, nutrition plays a big role. And then the genetic is not limited only to the history of melanoma. There's other associated comorbidities that they contribute to a higher risk of melanoma, like lung cancer, colon cancer, pancreatic cancer. All these, they are associated through a master gene that is expressed in these organs.
So what, the melanoma then becomes invasive then, and the cancer just spreads, and then another cancer then eventually kills the
no,
person?
What I'm saying is that when we analyze the history, okay, obviously your great-grandparents had a melanoma, your grandparents had a melanoma, your dad has melanoma, you're going to have a melanoma. But then additionally, if we analyze other historical evidence from your past medical history, and we recognize like colon cancer, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer in your family, all these increase and multiply the risk for melanoma.
Gotcha.
Now, on top of that, if you start going to the sun and sunburn and tanning booth, then this exponentially increases your risk.
And I'm sure you advise all people to stay out of tanning beds 100%. Is that the case?
Absolutely, yeah.
I've never met a doctor that's ever said, well, in moderation, they're okay. So, but no, stay out of them altogether.
Well,
correct?
You're trying to get me there, but at this time I will not.
I honestly enjoyed them. I thought they were kind of like a relaxing a way to just kind of just remove some stress from the environment. And so, but like I said, I haven't been to them in like 10 years or so, and went to a doctor and I got a mole on my back, and he's like, you need to not go to a tanning bed. You need to watch that mole and everything. So I've been staying out of them ever since, though. So that's why I'm white as a ghost.
Well,
so I don't get any sun.
Call you Casper.
Yeah, and I go out and I put the I think I'm using like SPF 30.
And the tanning and the sun exposure really, they have other detrimental effects. I mean, the skin ages. I mean, I can show you.
Can one bad sunburn lead to a melanoma, or is it something that kind of occurs over time?
Under certain circumstances, sure.
So you got to be careful at every time you go out there in the sun. Then.
Absolutely.
So. All right, let me take a break here. Currently talking to Dr. V, which stands for Vasiludis. He is a president and CEO of his firm and specializing in dermatology. I didn't get, where are you located at?
Oh, we are located on Kennedy between West Shore and Del Mabry.
Okay. We're going to talk about some other skin conditions that he treats when we come back from the break, and you can learn more about him in the meantime over at tampadermatology.com. You're listening to That Business Show. Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Who doesn't have a smartphone these days? And of course, there's an app for everything. Well, almost everything. That's why the folks at Popcorn Apps started developing mobile applications. They saw people like you with genius ideas, unable to make those thoughts a reality. They develop applications for tens of thousands of dollars less than you'll find anywhere else, and will turn your idea into a reality in a matter of just a few months. Think you're not ready? Think again. They are your one-stop shop for mobile application development. See them at popcornapps.com with a K in popcorn, or call them at 727-415-6705 for your free consultation and pop your kernel of an idea into $1 million business and a world changer starting today.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again.
Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews, and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews, and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www www.alphacomputing.com.
If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project. In an age when the good and the better vie for attention, it is the best that stands out. The best of Tampa Bay from Proudly Florida is the love story for the city of Tampa, celebrating success, sharing achievements, a tribute to enterprise and community spirit. Let Proudly Florida showcase your business to your city, your nation, and the world. For more information, email info@proudlyflorida.com and be sure to visit proudlyflorida.com.
From the Bright House Networks Traffic Center.
Very heavy traffic on westbound I-4 from the Plant City area over towards I-75. Crash off to the right-hand side just past Mango. Southbound 75 slow between Fowler Avenue and I-4. Crash now clear on westbound Park Boulevard near 83rd. And hearing about a crash now on Gandy Boulevard and 4th Street. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson, New York. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Sparkling Ice. This morning, don't forget to pick up a sparkling ice, bursting with real fruit flavor and just the right amount of fizz. Get all the taste and refreshment you want without the calories. Choose from 15 irresistible sparkling ice flavors and visit your local Winn-Dixie today. Sparkling Ice, the bold side of water.
Today, mostly sunny with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 93. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance with a high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Talking to Dr. V about dermatology here in the studio today. So, Dr. V, another condition related to dermatology, hair loss. I wouldn't have thought of that necessarily, but you treat this. So, tell us about what some of the information we need to know about this.
I love talking about hair loss because it's affecting so many people. Maybe 40 to 50% of all of us by the age we are 40, we're going to experience significant hair loss.
Yeah, I'm already losing it back there on the, I guess, that traditional place back in the back of the head.
And the exciting part about hair, really, every hair follicle reacts different to the hormonal changes in our body. We see during puberty, for example, people growing hair on the chin and the cheek and the chest, and they are losing that on the top. Mm-hmm. That makes that so unique and exciting to work. So I make that a subject of my interest over the years, and I've been working in that area for about 21 years. I published my first paper about hair loss back in 95, 96 while in Colorado. The last 10 years, I became associated with a very good friend from Denmark. We developed a great relationship. His name is Lars. And over the years, we worked together and we refined a wonderful natural program where we use extracts that we grow in different countries in Europe. We mix them in a particular way. And voila, we have great results. And we established this program in 3 continents. We have a clinic in Dubai. We have clinics in Germany, in Denmark, in Scandinavian, Oslo and Norway. And we recently opened a clinic in Beverly Hills as well.
So you're using a topical treatment, just a cream, you put it on the head, and then how long does the treatment need to go for before you start to see some type of results?
It's a solution. It's a watery extract. We call it the extract. Has a kind of a yellowish natural color, and we mix it in our office in a proprietary customized fashion for every client, and we apply that at night, maybe 6-7 minutes, massage it, rub it in the target area, and we see results within 3 months. We say give it 90 days to see and quantify results, and we document our findings by gross photography, where we take pictures like we do today, mm-hmm. and then we take micro pictures with tattoo designated areas, and we calculate and we quantify the hair growth and we see differences in the number of hair, the volume, the size, the diameter, and overall the quality, luster is amazing.
And so about 3 months, you put this cream on at night. Does it sit on your head like, a gel, or do you actually massage the cream into the scalp itself?
It's a lotion. After 5 minutes massaging, it evaporates more or less.
Okay, I was going to say, so you don't have to worry about it getting on the pillows or anything like that.
No. I've been using that
I just recall a Seinfeld episode where Costanza gets this gel from overseas, and it like sits on his head, and it's just.
I used that last night. I use it every night for the last 7 years.
Oh, so you have a personal success story about
Absolutely, yeah. I try things first on myself.
Yeah, and he does have a full head of hair. I can attest to that. So what is the success rate, would you say, to get just some type of result? Not necessarily maybe a full head of hair, but to see some type of results.
In the cases we select and we qualify, our success rate is 99%.
99%?
But
wow.
we don't take everybody in the treatment. We'll take the people who are committed to be compliant, and we develop a long-term relationship.
Now, obviously, there's big money in hair loss. There's all kinds of different cures.
40 billion industry, hair loss. On top of that, hair
Why
care.
are there so many different treatments? Is it that it's just a money-sucking industry, or is it just that certain people respond to this treatment and certain people respond to that treatment?
There are so many attempts to treat, but there is only one successful program, and that's the Harklingen program.
Yeah.
That's our program.
And I think I was telling you during the break, I was at a thing with Kevin Harrington, and he's an investor, an entrepreneur, and he had some helmet that emits some type of rays into the head, and he was putting his money behind it, so he believed that was the cure for baldness.
That's a low light, quote unquote, emission treatment, LED. There is so many attempts around, from medical, laser-based, surgical. But I can tell you, I've been looking at this area for 20 years, and I have attended international conferences, European Society of Dermatologic Research, American Academy of Dermatology annual meeting. The results I can deliver, really, they are unparalleled.
And you're the only one doing this treatment. This is a proprietary treatment that you and your friend put together,
yes.
Your friend Lars, and so you can only get it over at your office. So why is it that men go bald? But I know women's hair thin, but what's going on with men versus women? Why do men lose hair and women don't?
It has to do with the androgen receptors and the ratio of the conversion of certain type of androgens at the hair follicle. And all this is directed and controlled by circulating hormonal levels as well as receptors. But I want to say something, that our program is really available to everybody in the world, because we can do online evaluations, we can do Skype consultations, and we can evaluate anybody from the comfort of their living room. So go to hairkliniken.com and we'll be there.
All right. A good interview and some good information there, John.
I was going to say, is that the same reason why women have beards? And by the way, your celebrity lookalike, Jamie, challenged me, and I did some digging, but I found Eugene Levy.
There you go, Eugene Levy. All right, so that's the guy from American Pie, right? The father,
several other movies. He plays the same guy in every movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. I definitely can agree with that. So, all right, we got to wrap up the interview. Dr. V, thank you so much for being in studio today.
It's my pleasure.
Learn more about him over at tampadermatology.com. Coming back from the break, we got Dr. Chris Pittman, and we'll be back in a moment.
I feel guilty that I can't always be there when Mom feels stuck at home. She was always there for us. But now she can't get out, and I'm not always available to take her places. Someone else needs to help her get around. Then I learned about Home Instead. Now Mom can do what she enjoys because her personal caregiver is there, and I can just be a daughter again.
Are you struggling to care for your loved one? We can help. Home Instead Senior Care. To us, it's personal.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Crash off to the right-hand side just past Mango, and southbound 275 now jammed from before Fletcher to around Hillsborough Avenue. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Uterick Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by Papa Lock. This report is brought to you by Papa Lock.
You never should have hired him. Friday at 4:30, you had to fire him. You can't risk waiting to rekey the locks. You'll relax this weekend. You call Papa Lock.
Call the locksmiths at Papa Lock. We're the experts in business security.
1250 winds, weather center forecast. Partly sunny skies, afternoon thunderstorms expected, rain chance around 60%. Low mid-90s for the high, upper to mid-70s for the low. Rain chance down starting a bit for tomorrow. Temperatures closer to the low 90s. Impact Radio 1250 winds, WHNZ.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And we're back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Learn more about the program over at TampaBayRadio.com. All shows available on demand. And please connect with us on social media, Facebook.com/That Business Show. And also you find us on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. Also on our fan page, we put up a lot of short little video clips, thanks to Matt Ashwood of Songbird Agency stepping in this week and handling the social media for us and doing a great job for that. So thank you very much to Matt for coming in the morning here and helping us out with that. What's that?
Dan, if you're listening, I'm not cheating on you. There's no bromance between me and Matt. So
Dan is our other assistant. Dan is out for the next few weeks. He's got himself a new position, so of course we wish Dan well. Time to bring in my next guest, regular contributor to the program, Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Learn more about this at vein911.com or give them a call at 855-VEIN-911. And I feel like Dr. Pittman, I've become an expert in veins. I was talking to my friend Stella the other day, and she was asking me a couple of questions, and I was just rattling off the answers. So thank you for the education and the information that you share with me here on the program. So, and as a matter of fact, we got a question from her. She was talking about she likes to stand up and stuff, do the stand up desks and everything, and she's wondering about the effects of that on legs and veins. So how does working in a stand up environment differ from working in a sit down environment, for instance?
Well, I'm going to ease into that, and of course, always a ton of fun to be here with you and Josh. We actually have three hearts, okay? Let's be provocative right off the bat. We have a heart in the chest, but we each have a heart in our calf muscles. It's called the calf muscle pump, and the only thing moving blood out of your legs, almost literally, is calf motion. And so we treat a lot of servers, teachers, nurses, cosmetologists, people who stand a lot, because when you're standing, your calf muscles aren't working, and the blood is pooling. And you can actually kind of zen this out. If you just stand up and really pay attention, you can almost feel the blood pooling in your legs. You can almost feel it. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of blood that will pool in your legs. So standing, to answer the question now, is fine, but if your calf isn't moving, it's going to lead to problems. So I think the whole standing thing is a little bit of a double-edged sword. I think it's more important to sit properly, than to just stand.
And we've talked about proper sitting before, and go through that a little bit for us, because I tend to be low to the ground and my knees are kind of hunched up a little bit, but what's a proper sitting position?
And this is critically important. We're supposed to sit on our butts, but most people are sitting on their thighs, and practically every chair is too high.
People want to see my feet in the air, so I don't think I should be sitting on my butt, just saying.
We have butt bones, or actually two bony rings that we're supposed to be sitting on, but most people sit on their thighs. Most chairs are about form and not function. And when you're sitting on your thighs, even a little bit is compressing veins, is compressing lymphatics. And over time, it leads to problems. And I'm coaching millennials, folks in their 20s and their 30s, spending a lot of time, at the computer about this, and they'll get relief within hours and even hours and days. And so the litmus test is a simple piece of paper, 8.5 by 11. You put it right under your thigh, right behind your calf. If you can't pull it out without tearing it, you're too high. To put that in another perspective, your knees should be about a ½ inch higher than your hip. A little bit higher than your hip, just enough to pull out a piece of paper. That goes for the car, for people who are salespeople, spend a lot of time in the car. You should sit like a gangster, not a bus driver.
So the people that do enjoy standing up in the office environment, then they need to at least kind of get the calves working, maybe do some calf raises
Correct.
And stuff.
If you're going to stand, or even sitting, you don't even need resistance. Just moving your calf back and forth. And I coach older folks that come in my office with very, very swollen legs. Just be a ballerina. When you're sitting down, point your toes, bring them back up, point your toes. Just flex that calf muscle, and it's moving really a lot of blood and lymph out of your leg.
When you said that you should sit like a gangster, are you talking about the people that drive their car sitting way back, doing the lean back in the car?
That's right.
So all this time I've been dogging my brother-in-law about driving his car like that and how dangerous he's been doing it right.
Well, they could be. Josh, I'm just not naturally funny. I got to work at it, so I got a few little spiels here in between the monotone. So.
Hey, Jamie, I got a celebrity lookalike.
For Dr. Pittman, what we got here for Dr.
We got Henry the Red from Army of Darkness.
Okay.
He's got a little bit more hair than Dr. Pittman over there, but I can see that. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Dr. Pittman actually called his own celebrity, and I agree with him. Dennis Miller.
Yeah.
When I had a little more hair, I could use Dr. V's services. It was just
Dennis
in here.
Miller was a ginger.
You just got to change the hair color. I can see that.
Compared him all the time, which was a real compliment. But anyway.
So we're going to focus today on talking about women's health as it relates to vein care. And we've talked about a number of different conditions on the program, from ankle swelling to leg cramps to the Jimmy legs, restless leg syndrome, as I like to joke about. But there's some other conditions that we've not talked about. You're talking about a pelvic condition related to veins?
Yes. 15% of ladies and men have varicose veins in the pelvis, and a fraction of men and ladies have pain or symptoms related to that. We're not going to talk about the guys very much. It's a much easier diagnosis, but in ladies, it's not. So a lot of ladies have chronic pelvic pain. They go to the OBGYN. They get worked up, and they don't get an answer. There's a fraction of them that don't get an answer. And it's important to see the OBGYN, make sure there's not other causes for the pelvic pain. But if you don't get any answers, or they can't figure it out, and you've been dealing with this for years, you need to think about pelvic congestion syndrome, and it's simply dilated veins in the pelvis that are causing chronic intermittent pain. Can often be worse perimenstrual. I'm kind of a referral center. I have people come from all over the United States to see me about that. It's actually quite common. It's ignored, but it's very easy to treat, and these are desperate patients that have been in pain a very long time. And don't have any answers, and we're able to fix them pretty easily. Another thing I'm going to throw out there is groin, vaginal, and buttock varices. There's ladies that suffer with these. You really can't operate on them. I've saved a lot of relationships by being able to get rid of these in the office without surgery. We've talked about ultrasound-guided foam sclerotherapy. Everybody repeat that. You learn more about that at our website, but it's an amazing technology. It's quite non-invasive, and it's really a fantastic way to get rid of veins in intimate places that are causing
So the women
not
are-
only cosmetic but medical issues.
So the women are going to the gynecologist with the pains, and they're not getting the solutions, and then they're not being referred to you as a possible provider.
Yeah, I want to
then.
be. Yeah, that's true. But I want to be very clear. There are more common causes of pelvic pain in ladies, like ovarian cysts, endometriosis, other things like that. But if you've been worked up and not getting any answers and frustrated, you should think about pelvic congestion syndrome. Unfortunately, there's a fair number of OBGYNs who don't believe in it, and there's plenty of science behind it. I'll just leave it at that. I've been treating it for 25 years with well over 90% success rate and extremely happy patients. So anyway.
So in your profession, it sounds like there's a lot of conditions related to veins that other doctors don't know about necessarily, because people go in for what they think it is, but then the veins is second or tertiary to that.
You nailed it. You nailed it, Jamie. On the leg side, same thing. Restless legs, night cramps, pain, all these kinds of things.
Nobody
I'm
thinks of
convinced
veins. Yeah.
They don't, and even my colleagues don't. And I am convinced that a lot of people end up in neurologists' offices, orthopedic surgeons, and others that really have vein-related symptoms. They end up in sleep centers with sleep difficulties, movement disorders that are related to vein disease.
So in the condition of the pelvic congestion syndrome, I mean, what's going on? The veins just putting pressure on nerves and causing the pain? I mean, or is it just one of those things where you're just really not certain what the connection is?
The thing about what's causing discomfort and pain in the pelvis and the legs is the distension or stretching of the veins. And when they distend and stretch, they cause symptoms and pain.
Okay, so the veins...
And that's why compression hose work.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they're keeping the veins from
I'm
dilating.
Gotcha. So how do you treat these? Do you use the non-surgical techniques? I mean, does anything
all
in your
non-surgical?
Does
Zero.
anything in your practice involve any type of surgical techniques
None.
with veins? Because that's
None.
your main selling point. It's non-surgery.
Yeah, I'm an interventional radiologist. We're medicine's original minimally invasive surgeon, so to speak. But we don't use blades. We're like cardiologists outside the heart. There's no role for surgery in vein care. I'm on record of that. There just isn't. My entire career has been defined by doing things non-invasively, non-surgically, and then other specialties adopting what we do. Our specialty in interventional radiology invented stents, angioplasty, laser closure, varicose veins, clot-busting procedures, all these things a lot of people are familiar with, but no one knows who an interventional radiologist is.
And you mentioned, I know we were talking about women's health, but you touched on, male infertility can also be related to a vein disorder too.
Absolutely, and we've been non-invasively, non-surgically treating males with infertility or varicose veins in the scrotum, but that's where they show up. It's described as a bag of worms, and it's very easy to diagnose. 20% of guys have them. They're generally left-sided. So if you have a little bag of worms on the left side, you have a varicocele. A fraction of those guys are going to have symptoms from that, and it's a leading cause of male infertility. It's treated by simply getting rid of that vein, and we do that non-surgically. Unfortunately, a lot of people go get surgery to have that done, but that's unnecessary. It can be done
So how well is the medical community connected to one another? Because you've talked about a number of different connections to different practices, and do these doctors really know to talk to you about some of these conditions? Or are you finding yourself having to go out there and educate them, like say, hey, when you've got this situation, maybe you need to send them to me?
Everything I do is all about education and outreach, not only to the public and patients, but definitely to my colleagues. Of course, I've been able to educate a lot of them. I'm past president of the County Medical Association. I'm involved in a few other organizations around town and statewide, and I've been able to educate a lot of them. A lot of them were very skeptical about what we do and some of the symptoms, but I can tell you we got some true believers, and I enjoy a fair number of referrals and very happy patients from these primary care doctors.
Learn more about Dr. Chris Pittman over at vein911.com or give him a call at 855-VEIN-911, specializing in all things vein, from varicose veins and spider veins to night cramps and ankle swelling and things you may not even know are related to vein disorders, as we've been talking about on this segment. Got to take a break, but we'll finish up with Dr. Pittman when we come back. We're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Have you ever tried to buy a home for your family only to find out that you don't qualify qualify for a mortgage loan? You thought that after 20 years as a customer of your bank, they would help you when you needed it the most, right? Unfortunately, the banks of today are not the banks of our parents and grandparents, and our relationships with them just don't matter anymore. My name is Frank Cotto, and I'm the president of the Lincoln Lending Group. We all may need a bank, but we also need a Frank. And that's what I'm here to do for you today. Lincoln Lending Group will waive all of your lending fees, which include your mortgage, application fee, your underwriting fee, processing fees, and any bank points. Just call 813-MORTGAGE. You drop the E, and we'll drop the fee.
Teresa Turner is a certified public accountant and the founder of Tax Happens, a boutique-style CPA firm providing small businesses and individuals with hands-on, personalized tax and accounting services. Although we would love to tell you how happy their clients are, we would like you to see for yourself. Tax Happens has 21 Google reviews and a 4.8-star Google rating, 17 Yelp reviews and a 5-star Yelp rating, 38 Facebook reviews and a 4.9-star Facebook rating. What sets Tax Happens apart is number 1, upfront pricing, 2, clear deadlines, 3, personally available year-round, and number 4, a willingness to empower clients to do as much or as little as they desire. Visit taxhappens.com for more information.
Savvy business owners utilize technology to connect with customers, communicate among teams, and collaborate with partners. Even with advances in technology, you all know it's not infallible. Where do you turn when your technology starts working against you? Who do you depend on to keep your team productive? Don't wait until your technology fails you. Get ahead of the crisis and contact the professionals at Alpha Computing Solutions so they can show you how to keep your technology running smoothly. Visit them online at www.alphacomputing.com.
At Vein 911, we will help you feel great again. Do you have restless legs, night leg cramps, or ankle swelling? Restless legs, cramping, swelling, and tired heavy legs are often symptoms of hidden vein disease. You do not have to have visible bulging veins to have the symptoms of vein disease. The vein care specialists at Vein 911 are uniquely qualified to evaluate and treat your veins. Are you unhappy with your previous vein treatment? Vein 911 succeeds where others fail. Call Vein 911 today at 855-VEIN-911. That's 855-834-6911 to book your free consultation. Vein 911. We will help you feel great again. If you've been following That Business Show on Facebook and Twitter, you may have noticed the quality of some of our images. That's because one of our sponsors is pro photographer Rick Taseda, a member of the Professional Photographers of America. You can view his extensive work by going to his website at ricktaseda.com or call him for an appointment to chat about your photography needs at 813-641-4757. That's 813-641-4757. Rick Taseda Visuals. Call him for your next event or project.
Did you know the biggest challenge business leaders face today is creating an engaged and productive workforce culture? Bill Meyer Ham Consulting wants to help you solve this challenge. They will help you transform your workforce culture to produce amazing business results. Call Bill Meyer Ham Consulting at 941-201-4650 today or visit BillMeyerHam.com. That's BillMeyerHam.com. Have a conversation. What's up, business rock stars? Are you ready to bring out the CEO in you? Join Julianne Nichols, CEO of Focus on You Strategy, every other Friday on That Business Show. She'll be talking with other chief entrepreneurial officers about how they grew their businesses. Remember, you could join the conversation at Focus on You Strategies Focus Fridays Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. That's facebook.com/groups/Focus Fridays. Be the CEO of you.
From the RP Funding Traffic Network.
Disabled vehicle in Town and Country on eastbound Memorial Highway approaching Webb Road. This one in the right-hand lane. Also seeing delays on Hillsborough Avenue approaching Memorial Highway. Crash in St. Petersburg on westbound Gandy Boulevard, the left turn lane onto 4th Street. Also a crash on southbound Anderson approaching Limeball. And also one on Wilski about midway between Limeball and Waters. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson Udrich, Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line, 866-545-9595.
This report is brought to you by SOS Children's Villages. War, poverty, and disaster have left millions of children around the world orphaned, abandoned, alone. When their parents can't be there, SOS Children's Villages is there in 134 countries, including the U.S. To make a difference in a child's life, go to sosusa.org.
Today, mostly sunny with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high 93. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 77. Tomorrow, a 40% rain chance with a high 91.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Missed a show? Then head over to TampaBayRadio.com, where all shows are available on demand. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
And welcome back to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. In studio with Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Learn more about this at vein911.com or give his office a call at 855-VEIN-911. So, Dr. Pittman, we're kind of focusing on, women's health, and we're talking about, some unknown things related to vein disorder in that last segment, pelvic congestion syndrome, a condition that's often overlooked by OBGYNs and when women go into the gynecologist. But let's talk about some of the cosmetic issues related to vein disorders that women or even men may face, such as the little red dots that people get on their skin.
Sure, these are called cherry angiomas. If everybody kind of looks at their arms or their trunk or whatever, in our 20s, they're extremely common. They start out as little red dots, then they grow bigger and become spots, and then they heap over.
Did you say trunk?
Yeah, they can be on your chest.
You mean belly?
They can be anywhere, face, scalp, literally anywhere, and they don't go away. And they grow and they get bigger. And they can be a real source of embarrassment. People can look great, but they can have them all over their chest or
Do you
back.
find that people pick at them and stuff too?
It can be a real problem when shaving. It
Right.
can be on ladies' legs and be a real problem on guys' faces. And they're extremely common, and they're little vascular capillary lesions. And we have a device called Vein Go. It's very kitschy sounding, but it's Vein Go, like Vincent Van Gogh. And in seconds, we can get rid of these things, and it's quite amazing.
And they're gone for good. They're just a couple quick zaps with the laser or whatever it is.
They are gone for good. It's not even a laser. It's frankly better than a laser, and it's instantaneous. I mean, in seconds, they're gone. There's no scarring, and we got a lot of very happy people with that. Of course, varicose vein, spider vein, source of embarrassment for ladies. These spider veins occur in the face. See a lot of ladies with spider veins, around the nasolabial folds. On the face. Some of them really suffer bad, and they've been covering these up with makeup for years. And in 20 minutes, we can get rid of them. And I've told this story before. I've saved lives in the hospital, done a lot of really neat things, but I've never had anybody pop off a table, hug me, and cry until I got rid of their spider veins in their face, and that's happened many times.
Is that like around the eyes a little bit? And
some people will have larger blue-green veins around the eyes, and yes, we do treat those.
So spider veins in the legs, how do you treat those? Do you have to go in there and use the Vein Go machine for that, or is that the scleral hair therapy machine?
You are an expert. Actually, no. The gold standard for treatment in the legs is injection sclerotherapy. So Vein Go is generally reserved for above the waist, but it's injection sclerotherapy, and it's pretty simple. We've talked before that spider veins are like weeds. They have roots, and a surface device or a surface laser is not going to be enough because it will not address the roots. When you actually inject, and when we use a needle the size of a hair shaft, we've never had anybody hit us, cuss, or leave, or not repeat treatment ever. A lot of people don't even feel it. They watch us do it. But when you inject sclerostin, it actually gets the roots of the weeds so that they go away, don't come back.
And it's important to talk about that when somebody comes in. I mean, you first want to look at the medical cause of the issue before you start talking about cosmetic treatments, correct?
Boy, he is an expert. I'm just going to have him do the show next time, and I'm going to sleep in. But that is correct. When most people are both. They're medical and cosmetic, and they don't realize they're medical. So the first thing we have to do when we see somebody is determine, are they medical, cosmetic, or both? And just a few spider veins can be an indication of a deeper problem, so we take a good medical inventory about symptoms that they may not realize are vein-related, which would lead to an ultrasound exam to look under the hood, look under the skin, and see if there are any enlarged veins that are leaking. It's important from the cosmetic side of things to deal with larger problems under the skin, because if you don't, you're not going to get good cosmetic outcomes. And there's a lot of mediocre and poor cosmetic outcomes in vein care because a lot of practitioners aren't focused on the medical.
Generally speaking, what is the ratio of cosmetic versus medical situations that you deal with in your office? Is it split evenly, or are you doing more of cosmetic stuff than medical stuff?
We do way more medical. What most people don't realize, including my own colleagues, they think everything I do is cosmetic and cash, and most of it's medical insurance. I would say 80% of what we do is medical and insurance. A lot of people have symptoms in their legs. Many of them can see that it's related to vein disease, but as we mentioned before, probably half of patients living with lifestyle limiting vein disease don't have bulging varicosities. So you can't be assured you don't have vein problems just because you don't have varicose veins bulging on the skin. But I would say when people come in thinking they just have a cosmetic problem, I would say well over half have an underlying medical problem as a part of it.
What's another common cosmetic condition that you treat? We talked about cherry angiomas, the spider veins, the varicose veins.
Something that we're kind of known for is hand rejuvenation. We get rid of bulging, ugly veins in the back of ladies' hands. Hand rejuvenation is kind of a big deal now because ladies look great in the face, they look great in the body, and their hands are giving them away. And so we have a video that's gone viral on YouTube. I've got ladies flying in from all over the United States, driving from all parts of the state to get rid of their hand veins. It's an outpatient procedure. It takes 15 minutes. It's painless. You can go see the video. And it's pretty amazing.
For patients out there that have been, listeners, I should say, that have been out there listening to you for a while, do you offer a free consultation, or how can people get in touch with you?
Yeah, we absolutely offer free consultation if you want to come kick the tires and check out our establishment. Yes, and then anybody that has symptoms in the legs of any sort, an initial consultation and an ultrasound are always covered by insurance.
Good information. So learn more about Dr. Pittman over at Vein 911. Dr. Pittman, thank you so much as always.
Thank you.
And again, that was Dr. Chris Pittman, Medical Director and CEO of Vein 911. Learn more about him at that website or give their office a call for a free consultation at 855-VEIN-911. In the meantime, learn more about this program over at TampaBayRadio.com, and be sure to connect with me on all the different social media sites, Facebook.com/That Business Show. And also you'll find me on Twitter under Jamie_Maloney. And be sure to watch our partnership video that's up on the homepage at TampaBayRadio.com between the radio show and the Tampa Bay business owners. A lot of good stuff going on between the radio show and that organization. Got to take a top of the hour break. Coming back from the break, it'll be Working Woman Wednesdays on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.